All right, let's go to the questions from the internet. Would it be poor taste for John Huntsman, he was our ambassador to China, just resigned, to resign that post in order to run for president against Obama? No. Obama appointed him to get rid of him politically. Why shouldn't he come back and be a political force against him?
And we clearly need another Mormon in the race, right?
Is he a Mormon?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, look, since the Chinese own all of our debt and are our bankers, I think we need somebody who's known them the last couple of years and maybe knows some strategies.
Do they really own our debt?
They own a very small portion of our debt.
They own like 10%, probably the same as Japan. And they, they voluntarily buy our T-bills.
They have leverage. If they pull out, we're in trouble.
I know, but it is way over-exaggerated when people talk about how China's beating us and we don't worry about China. China's a really poor third world country.
You'll soon be beating us into space.
China?
Yes!
Why do you say that?
They're going to Mars, right?
They're going to Mars, and Mars is already red, right? So that's an easy marketing thing. You get that? And I can tell you, if China announces they're going to Mars, we're going to be there in 12 months.
Now, does China know there's no slave labor available to them? They know that's not available?
If you do leave the menus under the door joke right now, I'm out of here.
I'm just saying that the forces that drive exploration have been militaristic.
Here's a good one. How would the uprising in Egypt be different if the people there had a right to bear arms?
Ooh.
We have too few guns. I mean, too many. Maybe they have too few.
I'll tell you who the people who have the right to bear arms are. They're Mubarak's thugs. And the uprising will be different. It will be very violent. The uprising has been peaceful because the people who want to get rid of Mubarak intentionally don't have guns. And those guns, and you know where all that money comes from for the guns? Again, the U.S. administration, $1.3 billion.
Right.
So that's how
I'll tell you,
different it is.
sister's on message. She does not flinch.
But wait, if
You're exactly right.
Thank you. I have numbers for you. Can I tell Bill some numbers? Because, Bill, first of all, the Muslim is here to break up this boys' club, so you need some feminism, so I'm back. And I want to give you some numbers. You mentioned all those awful statistics about Sharia and beheadings, but you did not mention that the same report you got those numbers from said that 90% of Egyptians support freedom of religion, 88% an impartial judiciary, 80% free speech, 75% oppose censorship, and the majority of Egyptians believe democracy is preferable to any other kind of government.
Explain.
Freedom of religion.
Okay, wait, but let me explain what that means, because it sounds like a contradiction. Yes. Yeah, because there's a Christian community, the Copts, right?
Of course,
okay.
yes.
They believe in freedom of religion. In other words, if you're already a Christian, if you've been grandfathered in, you can still be a Christian. But if you're a Muslim and you want to change, we kill you. That's not cool.
Hold on.
That's one reason why people don't...
Tell me the last time someone was stoned or killed for changing their religion in Egypt. Tell me.
I don't know, but I've seen it...
It hasn't happened, but I'm telling you these statistics because it just shows you how complicated. It didn't. It hasn't happened. You got statistics that Fareed Zakaria mentioned in Time magazine today.
And part of the reason why it hasn't happened is because there's a strong man in power.
No,
and I'm not suggesting he stay in power, but...
My strong man wants you to believe these awful statistics because he wants you to believe that we're these savages that only he can control.
You call him your strong man.
Yeah, we don't want him. Take him,
I don't want him, no, we don't want him.
You guys have bought him, take him.
No. He did think he was going to get a gold watch, though. It is kind of funny. He was like, for 30 years... For 30 years, I worked for America. I did everything they asked. I thought I was going to have a nice dinner at the end and a retirement.
All I'm getting is a T-shirt in prison.
And there they are, me with my $40 billion that I stole. Oh, it's just horrible. If you could reinstall any president in history, who would it be? I know who your answer.
No.
No? Who would it be?
Calvin Coolidge. He took a nap every afternoon.
That's a joke answer. This is the Hollywood Squares. Now your real answer.
Amity Schlaze.
Come on.
Amity Schlaze is writing a biography of Calvin Coolidge. She's a noted historian. Done a great book on the Great Depression called The Forgotten Man.
Silent Cow.
He said, 10 problems come down the road at you. If you just wait, 9 of them will end up in the ditch, and then you confront the real one that's really going to arouse problems for you. Calvin Coolidge took a nap every afternoon.
So did Reagan.
Turned out all right.
That's your basis for choosing?
Yeah, I don't get that either.
All I know, I spent my entire life with presidents, including George W. Bush, who were very ambitious, very hyper, and wanted to do an awful lot of activity that ended up not doing so well.
So you're saying
Because they didn't have a nap.
Right, he was.
Because they were over-ambitious about
This is
what
your-
government could do and pull off successfully. I believe we should have the core functions of government handled very well. One of the problems we have is government tries to do so many things right now, it does none of them well.
Who was it in the famous story who said, because he was known as Silent Cow, who said, I bet my husband that I could get you to say 3 words. And he said, you lose.
See, he had a sense of humor, too.
Obviously not that good of one. that joke certainly doesn't still work. Now that Don't Ask, Don't Tell has been repealed, should universities allow military recruiters back on campus? I guess.
Was that the reason why they were
I
kicked
don't know.
off?
I think I stumped the panel.
Wait, was that the reason why they were kicked off? And not because
Yes.
they were military
Yes,
recruits?
that is.
Well, that was there would have been an objection to that as well from some groups, but obviously the.
Well, it's
Don't
also,
Ask.
you know, military. When you join the military, you give up a lot of the rights and freedoms that are usually encouraged on campuses. So a lot of people think it's in contradiction, but I think that
Philosophically
Right.
opposite.
No,
yeah.
I got to read this. Was I supposed to read this on the show?
No, in overtime.
Oh, okay. For the past few weeks, you've had the chance to submit your own new rules on Facebook. We've seen some great ones so far. You should check them out for yourself. Go to my Facebook page to see January's finalists and submit your own new rule. We'll pick a new finalist next month. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, panel. We appreciate you coming by. Thank you.
Where's your base?